Welcome back to Apex Sci-Fi. Economics is supposed to be a science. It's built on supply, demand, and intrinsic value. Most advanced civilizations in the universe use a system of universal credits, backed by the energy output of stars or the weight of precious isotopes. It is logical. It is predictable. It is boring. Then there is the Vek-Nosh merchant empire. These guys are the accountants of the galaxy. They believe that every single physical object carries a cultural karma that can be converted into wealth. They travel the stars looking for rare artifacts from primitive worlds, hoping to find the next big investment. When they abducted Ray Ray from a swampy parking lot outside an Ocala Waffle House, they thought they were just picking up a low-level biological specimen. They didn't care about his brain, they cared about his pockets. Because when the Vek-Nosh asset scanner hit Ray Ray's back pocket, the machine didn't just beep. It screamed. It hit a value overflow that crashed the ship's main computer. The Vek-Nosh didn't realize that Ray Ray wasn't carrying a wallet. He was carrying a chaotic collection of garbage, nostalgia, and expired promises that would accidentally bankrupt an entire star system. Grab your camo gear and hold on to your savings. This is the story of how a Velcro wallet destroyed the galactic market. The Vek-Nosh High Auditor, a four-armed being named Kazal, stood in the sterile decontamination chamber. On the glass table before him sat the most mysterious object he had ever encountered. It was a wallet. But not a sleek leather wallet. It was made of a rugged, synthetic fiber known as nylon, covered in a pattern designed to make it invisible in a forest, which Kazal found hilarious as it was currently sitting on a bright white table. It was closed with a strip of hook and loop fastener. "Open it," Kazal commanded the drone. "Rayap." The sound of the Velcro opening was so loud and aggressive that the Vek-Nosh guards nearly fired their weapons. They had never heard a noise that sounded so much like a fabric-based scream. "Analysis," Kazal whispered. The scanner drone hovered over the contents. Ray Ray, the owner, was currently sitting in a nearby stasis chair, trying to see if he could make a fart noise by blowing into the crook of his arm. He didn't seem to realize his life was at stake. Artifact number 1, the drone buzzed. A small yellowed rectangle of processed cellulose. It contains 10 circular stamps. 9 have been activated. The 10th remains empty. Kazal's eyes widened. A loyalty card, for a place called Subway? You mean, if the 10th stamp is acquired, the holder receives a foot-long for free? This is an infinite yield contract. It is a promise of sustenance backed by no central bank. The scarcity is absolute. This is worth at least 10 million credits. The bankers in the room began to murmur. A free lunch was a concept that didn't exist in Vek-Nosh culture. To them this wasn't a coupon, it was a golden bond. Artifact number 2, the drone continued. A small jagged piece of white calcium. Chemical analysis confirms it is a human molar. It appears to have been kept for sentimental value. Kazal gasped. A biological relic. A piece of the specimen's own skeleton, carried as a totem. This is the ultimate proof of ownership. In the galactic core, people pay billions for the teeth of ancient kings. This Ray Ray must be a high priest of the Ocala tribes. Ray Ray interrupted. "Hey, that's my lucky tooth. I knocked that out on a jet ski back in '09. Don't you go losing that now. I need that for the Tooth Fairy if she ever shows up in space." Kazal didn't hear jet ski. He heard Chariot of the Waves. He didn't hear Tooth Fairy. He heard interdimensional biological asset manager. The value of Ray Ray's wallet was skyrocketing. But the real chaos started with artifact number 3. Artifact number 3, the drone announced. A small, flattened copper disc. It has been crushed by a massive weight. It bears the image of a log cabin and the words Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. The Vek-Nosh economists went into a frenzy. A pressed penny. To them this was a masterpiece of kinetic art. It represented a currency that had been intentionally destroyed to create something beautiful. It was a symbol of a post-scarcity society that mocked the value of copper. "This is a smashed coin of the forge," Kazal shouted. "The craftsmanship is brutal. It is worth an entire moon." By the time the drone reached the dry cleaning ticket from 2014 and the expired 50 cents off coupon for Tide Pods, the Vek-Nosh stock exchange was in a state of total collapse. Investors were selling their shares in Stargates and antimatter mines just to buy future options on Ray Ray's wallet. The Subway card was now being traded for the price of 3 solar systems. Ray Ray was moved from the specimen tank to the Emperor's suite. "So, let me get this straight," Ray Ray said, reclining on a bed made of liquid silk while two droids fed him something that tasted like blue raspberries. You guys want that old piece of gum I stuck to the back of my ID card? The one that's got the hair on it? The pre-chewed resin of memory? Kazal asked, bowing low. Yes, Your Radiance. Our biologists believe it contains the genomic history of your last meal. It is a biological time capsule. We are prepared to offer you the title of Grand Duke of the Sixth Quadrant for it. Deal, Ray Ray said, wiping his hands on the silk sheets. But I want a TV that gets the sports channels. I'm missing the race. For 3 months, the Vek-Nosh economy was the strongest it had ever been. It was the garbage standard. Every alien in the sector started carrying around old receipts and bits of string, hoping to mimic Ray Ray's wealth. They called it Florida core investing. But then the bubble burst. It happened when a Vek-Nosh scout ship actually visited the planet Earth. They landed in Ocala, looking for the sacred forge of the pressed penny. Instead they found a tourist trap. They saw a machine that smashed pennies for 50 cents. They saw a subway on every corner. They realized that the loyalty cards weren't rare bonds, they were everywhere. The value of Ray Ray's assets plummeted to zero in 6 seconds. The subway card, once worth 3 solar systems, was now worth, well, a sandwich. The Vek-Nosh were furious. They felt cheated. They burst into Ray Ray's suite, ready to vaporize him for financial terrorism. Ray Ray was sitting on the floor trying to fix a broken remote control with a piece of gum and a bent paperclip. The market is dead. Kazal screamed, his forearms shaking. Your pressed penny is common trash. Your subway card is a mockery. You have bankrupted an entire empire, human. Give us one reason why we shouldn't eject you into the void. Ray Ray didn't even look up. He just reached into his empty camel wallet and pulled out one final item that the drone had missed. It was tucked behind a flap. It was a small laminated card with a picture of a smiling man in a suit. You guys see this? Ray Ray asked. Kazal leaned in. What is this? Extended warranty? Yup, Ray Ray nodded. I've been trying to reach you about your ship's extended warranty for a while now. This here card says that if this whole boat breaks down, I'm the one who owns the insurance policy. And according to the fine print, I'm the one who's supposed to be charging you for the stay. The Vek-Nosh looked at the card. They looked at the legal-looking text on the back. To their hyperliteral, math-obsessed brains, the extended warranty was a binding cosmic contract. He owns the insurance? Kazal whispered. If we harm him, the warranty is void? And we have to pay him a deductible for the time he spent here. The Vek-Nosh lawyers spent 10 hours analyzing the card. Their conclusion, technically under the law of the Florida man, we owe him 300 trillion credits in emotional damages and a ride home. They didn't just take Ray Ray home. They gave him a gold-plated airboat, a lifetime supply of space jerky, and a diplomatic immunity pass that allowed him to park his truck anywhere in the galaxy. Ray Ray was beamed back to the Waffle House parking lot. He stood there, adjusted his camo hat, and patted his Velcro wallet. Stupid aliens, Ray Ray muttered. They didn't even notice I had a BOGO coupon for a car wash in there. Could have owned the whole damn galaxy if I'd shown him that. Ray Ray walked into the Waffle House. He had no money, no job, and he was covered in alien glitter. But he had his lucky tooth. And in the Florida Panhandle, that's all a man really needs. This has been Apex Sci-Fi. Value is in the eye of the beholder, but in Florida, value is whatever you can fit in your back pocket. If you have a wallet full of receipts you'll never use, hit that like button. You're a billionaire and you don't even know it. Comment below. What is the weirdest thing in your wallet right now that would confuse an alien? Subscribe. And never, ever give up your buy 10 get 1 free card. It's your ticket to the stars. Markets closed.